We have the Shadow Raikou counter guide coming out for you guys because Shadow Raikou is taking over raid battles from June 1st all the way until the end of June, which is actually quite a bit of weekends because this starts on June 1st, which is going to be a Saturday. So we will start the month off right exactly on the first day. So we're going to go over all the top counters, the 100% IVs, and everything you need to know. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. So these raid battles are actually going down from the 1st all the way until the 30th, which is a Sunday. So every single possible squeezed weekend in the month of June is going to be covered here, which makes it a grand total of 5 full weekends of Shadow Raikou. So please do not miss out on this. This is going to be a good time. The Shadow Raikou, I will put the best of the best at the end of this video. It's extremely powerful and definitely something that you potentially could invest in the game. So Raikou is going to be an electric type Pokemon, which is going to make it have one weakness, which is going to be ground. As far as its fast moves, it will get Thunder Shock and Volt Switch. And as far as its charge moves, the one offset move it will get is going to be Shadow Ball, which is going to hit pretty hard. It will also get Thunder, Thunderbolt, and Wild Charge. And just as a reminder, guys, when you are going in with a straight ground type Pokemon, or even something like a Garchomp, which makes it even more resistant, this Pokemon are double resistant by nature to electricity, and then triple resistant if it's going to be a dragon and a ground type for Groudon. So as far as the megas to use when we talk about this Pokemon, guys, you really want to make sure you're focusing on an electric mega. There's multiple of them in the game. We do have the Mega Manectric. We also have the Mega Ampharos. So those are the 2 electric types in the game, but for the third, guys, you can use the Primal Kyogre at level 3. Either of those Pokemon is going to help you yield the most XL candy here. And as far as the 100% IVs, 1972 will be at level 20, or if it is rainy weather, which is going to be all the way to level 25 at 2466. So either of those situations, if you get anywhere close, guys, even for me, you know, 96s, 98s, as far as these shadow raids are huge wins. I'm hoping that I can get a 96 or a 98 Raikou with the attack. And please do not purify most of these shadow Pokemon unless it's maybe like you got a couple good ones or you have a 13, 13, 13 in the shadow form. And according to Pokebattler, guys, 3.04 trainers to take it down with level 40 counters. So obviously, if you guys do have level 50 counters, you will be able to take this down faster than a 3-man, especially using party power. This will help you guys be able to 3-man it, but it is not enjoyable and you have to use a lot of your gems to be able to do so. So I do not suggest it, but if you need to, it is possible. Obviously, the more the better. I always match my megas with the typing to be able to get more XL candy because I value the Raikou candy in the XL form. And then as far as our top counters, obviously number 1 is going to be Primal Groudon. However, number 2 will be Shadow Groudon, followed by the Mega Garchomp and then the Shadow Garchomp, guys. Mudshot as well as Earth Power, which is the Comday move, is going to be both of the recommended movesets for the Mega as well as the Shadow Garchomp. So if you don't have those movesets on those Pokemon, you can consider getting it, but only with an Elite Charge TM. And then we have in spot 5, Mud Slap and Scorching Sands on Shadow Excadrill, Shadow Mamoswine in spot 6 with Mud Slap and High Horsepower, Shadow Rhyperior with Mud Slap and Earthquake. Then we have the Landorus in the Therian form in spot 8 with Mudshot and Sandsail Storm. Then we're going to get the Mudshot and the Precipice Blades on the Groudon in spot number 9. But in spot number 10, we have a great Pokemon for us. It's going to be the Excadrill, and that is going to be a budget counter, the first one that we're going to get with the Mud Slap and the Scorching Sands. In spot 11, you can use the Mud Slap, Earthquake, Shadow Rhydon. And then in spot 12, in spot 13, we are going to get the regular Garchomp and the Mamoswine. So while some of these other Pokemon are much stronger, in reality, we're going against a double weakness, which always lines up with allowing us to use much more budget counters at a much earlier rate here, as opposed to going to a different legendary of a different typing. In spot 14, we have the Shadow Hippowdon. Spot 15, the Hidden Power, but it has to be Hidden Power. Once you do get Hidden Power, guys, you cannot change it. So if you do get a ground one, you can use your Shadow Regigigas. If you do not and get a different typing, unfortunately, it's stuck there. Then we have the Shadow Donphan, Mudslap, Earthquake, Mega Swampert, Shadow Ursaluna, Shadow Flygon, which then leads us to the Mudslap and Earthquake regular Rhyperior here. Okay, so there we go, guys. That is everything you need to know as far as the weather conditions. Rainy weather will boost the Raikou in all of its attacks. If you do happen to fight it in the foggy weather, it's going to get a boost on the Shadow Ball. And then in the sunny weather, that's going to be the best way for us to be able to take down this Raikou the fastest, which can be done with 3s, but I suggest probably just meeting up with at least 6 people and going out on a basis there. So that is going to leave us for the counter guide and everything you need to know there. Let's check out the best of the best to see where does Shadow Raikou sit in Pokemon Go. The strongest moveset for meta attacker standpoint is going to be Thunder Shock and Wild Charge at 44.46. Okay, holy smokes, right off the bat, that is stopping me right here because 44 is almost 45 pretty much, and goodness gracious, when you're at 45, especially in a basically dragon, flying, and a couple other categories, guys, you could be sitting in the top spot, and there's not really a super strong mega out or even in existence that could top the charts in the electric category. So this might be the strongest electric type in the game. Then we have Volt Switch Wild Charge at 43.72. Then we have it in comparison to Thunderbolt, which is 3 points down below Wild Charge, then Shadow Ball at 39.26, and then if you want to see the Shadow Raikou with Thunder at 36, not very strong there as far as a move goes. If you want to compare it to the regular Raikou without the Shadow form, Thunder Shock and Wild Charge at 38.46, which is 6 points below the Shadow form. So when checking this out, obviously guys, the Shadow is much stronger here, okay? Yes, it is going to be a little bit glassier, but the amount of damage that this Pokemon is going to be delivering is going to be astronomically better than in the counterpart. So right off the bat, would I ever purify a Shadow Raikou? Here's the thing. Hopefully, I will get a pretty good IV one, hopefully a 98, 100% IV, whatever that is. And then hopefully, I will also get a shiny that's at least a 13, 13, 13, because if you purify it, every stat point can go up 2 points. So that's how you could get a purifiable Shundo. I would purify a Shadow Shiny if I have 1 or 2 or 3 that are regular Shadows, or even another Shadow Shiny that is good, okay? So this really comes down to how many of these am I getting? Am I getting lucky with this Pokemon? Am I not getting lucky? And then where does that Shiny sit? So if I had multiple of them, a Shiny that was good, a purifiable Shiny, and then a good one that's not Shiny, that's the situation that it would take. So there's obviously multiple steps for me to really like commit to purifying one of these Shinies into a hopefully purifiable Shundo. I would love to have that. That would really make my Pokemon collection super sweet and very cherishable for me. But at the same time, I'm more into function than I am not in this game. All right, so now we're going to compare it for the Ghost type move to see where it sits, and then we're jumping right into the electric category before we jump into PvP. So for Shadow Ball, we cannot get a charge move with Ghost because this one does not get one. So we're looking at Mega Mewtwo Y, which is at 55.56, then Mega Mewtwo X. Then we have Mega Gengar with Lick and Shadow Ball at 52.21. Then if we're going for other Pokemon, we have Shadow Mewtwo in the game right now with the Shadow Ball. That's going to be 49.43. We have Lunala, Mega Gardevoir, 45 and 43. On the next page, we're going to get regular Mewtwo. We're getting Dragapult, not in the game yet, but geared to Origin form with Shadow Force at 41.98. And Chandelure at 40.34, which is a budget counter. And then if we want to see where this Pokemon sits, it's going to be all the way on the 24th spot in the game overall right now. Some of those Pokemon are not in there, so it's going to be a little bit higher at 39.26, which is actually above the regular Gengar at the same time. So the one cool thing about this Pokemon is it only gets one variation of an attack. So you could run Thunder Shock, Wild Charge, and then have a second charge attack unlocked and run Shadow Ball, and you would be able to cover here, and it may be effective in certain situations. So that already is a plus there, because it's not like you're competing for multiple other moves that could be more effective here. So now let's check it out in the electric category. Is it the #1 attacker? The #1 attacker in the game in the electric category is the Shadow Raikou with Thunder Shock and Wild Charge at 44.46, followed by the Xurkitree with Thunder Shock and Discharge at 43.63, and then Zekrom at Charge Beam Fusion Bolt at 43.6, followed by Mega Manectric at 43.28, Shadow Electivire at 42.96, Shadow Zapdos at 42.88, Thundurus in the Therian form at 41.94, Shadow Magnezone, Spark and Wild Charge at 41.83, Shadow Luxray, Mega Ampharos, and then on the second page we can see the regular Raikou in the 12th spot overall at 38.48, and the Electivire is a budget counter at 37.12. All right, guys, so this already looks fantastic. However, think about it like this. The top 3 Pokemon are going to be paid to be able to get XL Candy for these Pokemon. So you have the Shadow Raikou, you have the Xurkitree, which is basically the exact same stats as the Zekrom. They're pretty much hand in hand right there. All of those you're going to have to raid to be able to get that XL Candy. And the Xurkitree Shiny is not out yet, so I refuse to do a lot of raids on that Pokemon until the Shiny's out, and then invest the money when the Shiny is out, so I can get the XL Candy, get the Shiny, and hopefully the 100% IV all at the exact same time. So beyond that, guys, what I suggest going here, well, the other thing you have to commit to is spending a lot of Stardust, because the Shadow Pokemon, if it is weather boosted, it's going to cost 532,000 Stardust and some change to power up, or if it is not, it's going to be 570,000 Stardust. So it's quite expensive to power these up, so that's something you have to take into consideration, as in comparison to some of the other Pokemon that are non-Shadows are going to take a little bit less Stardust. But is it worth to power up if you get a good one? In my opinion, absolutely. I love this Pokemon. I think it looks fantastic, and it's very effective. But does it do well in PvP? In the Great League, it's ranked 298. In the Ultra League, it's 138, but better ranked is going to be the non-Shadow at 95. And in the Master League, the best rank is 81 with Volt Switch, Wild Charge, as well as Shadow Ball. So this Pokemon, pretty good Pokemon. Is it the best Pokemon in the Electric category? It's not. There's better Pokemon that are in the Master League, such as Zekrom, Zapdos. Shadow Zapdos is going to beat it out, but the Raikou is not too much further behind it. So this Pokemon is an asset to the game. Is it a Shadow Mewtwo? It is not, but it's still exciting. It's still powerful, and I still give it the go for both situations, as long as it fits into your team in the Master League and works, but it will definitely come up and populate as an electric attacker in the game for the meta attack. Alrighty, everyone, that is going to do it. Good luck out there. I suggest you guys going after it. I really need that 15 attack, 96 or 98, or even potentially hundo. I would love that. And if I could get a purifiable shundo, the only things that I do consider purifying is if I have better ones, number one, and if it's not close enough, such as like a 14, 14, 15, or a 15, 14, 14, or maybe even a 15, 13, 15, those all look like ones that I would potentially consider powering up. But if there is something like a 13, 14, 13, and it happened to be shiny, I would consider purifying that. Or if it was just a regular shadow and I had better ones and I was looking for the hundo, I would consider doing that too, but I would prefer to have at least 2 good ones before I consider purifying one. So thank you guys as always. Love and appreciate you guys. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody takes your support, subscription, episode 2x level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.